Welcome to our webinar on APA's Journal Article Reporting Standards for Mixed Methods Research. This session will help you understand these reporting standards, evaluate mixed methods research critically, and apply JARS Mix to your own reports, proposals, and more. JARS Mix, which was developed in 2018, marked the first time APA style had included mixed method standards. These standards outline what should be reported in mixed methods research manuscripts to make the review process easier. In today's session, we'll first introduce JARS Mix, which was developed by the APA to enhance clarity, transparency, and rigor in reporting mixed method studies. It'll help ensure that studies using both qualitative and quantitative approaches are well documented and easy to interpret. By the end of the session, you'll have a stronger grasp on how to use JARS Mix to structure your own research and critically evaluate others' work. In this session, we'll break down its key components, explore how to evaluate mixed methods research, and we'll discuss its practical application. We'll also touch on the ethical considerations as well as an example to consider. The main idea behind this approach is that combining qualitative and quantitative research provides deeper insights than either method alone. Mixed methods research benefits from both types of data, and integrating them carefully allows for more thorough analysis and richer findings. Additionally, researchers can publish multiple articles from a single mixed method study, such as separate papers on the qualitative and quantitative findings, as well as an overview that combines them both. To use mixed methods effectively, researchers must meet the standards of both qualitative and quantitative research at every stage: design, execution, reporting, and more. Over time, different mixed methods designs have been developed to guide researchers in structuring their studies, such as the convergent design, exploratory sequential design, and explanatory sequential design. While some guidelines exist in health sciences and specialized journals like the Journal of Mixed Methods Research, psychology and APA style have only just begun to establish formal reporting standards for mixed methods research. So what do we mean by mixed methods research? Well, the basic assumption of this methodology is that the combined qualitative findings and quantitative results lead to additional insights not gleaned from the qualitative or quantitative findings alone. In mixed methods, value accrues from both qualitative findings and the quantitative results, and the integration of the two in a thoughtful way leads to just a greater mining of the data and enhanced insights. Mixed methods research, on a very simple approach, combines quantitative or numerical data with qualitative or textual data to offer a more comprehensive understanding of your research problem. So for example, if I am studying counseling outcomes with surveys, and I'm using that as my quantitative data, I might be pairing that with in-depth qualitative interviews with clients or clinicians. Some common mixed methods designs include explanatory sequential, which is when you do quantitative research first, and then you use qualitative to explain, so that qualitative can provide deeper context on that quantitative finding. Or maybe you're going to go ahead and do exploratory research, where you have qualitative data that informs the development of a quantitative survey. You might want to also try convergent parallel design, where qualitative and quantitative data are collected simultaneously and then merged. And then last but not least is embedded design, where one method is inside of another, meaning like one data type, either qualitative or quantitative, plays a supporting role with the primary research methods. So for example, perhaps a quantitative study needs additional depth from qualitative insights without conducting two equally weighted studies. So this might ensure that the numbers tell a complete story by incorporating real experiences and perspectives. So why would we use JARS Mixed? Well, our main goal is to make mixed methods research more reliable and interpretable. So what JARS Mix does is it provides us with a structured approach for reporting our results. This standardization benefits researchers by ensuring that there's clarity in writing and helps both readers and reviewers assess the study's credibility. For example, without clear reporting, a study could appear disjointed or biased in its interpretation. JARS Mix prevents that by ensuring a systematic integration of both the qualitative and the quantitative findings. The key components of JARS Mix include three core areas, which are structured to ensure transparency and allow other researchers to replicate or build upon the study. That includes research design, data collection and integration, and interpretation and reporting. The thoughtful and robust use of mixed methods research requires meeting the standards of both quantitative and qualitative research methodology in the design, implementation, and reporting stages. For the data collection and integration component, you will want to see details on how both types of data were gathered and combined, as well as the methods for integrating and analyzing each set of data. In the interpretation and reporting component of JARS Mix, we're explaining how the findings were synthesized to present a coherent conclusion, as well as implications for both research and practice. To critically assess mixed method studies, there are several questions that we can ask to help distinguish high-quality research from poorly reported studies. These include questions around clarity, such as, is the mixed methods design clearly described? Questions around transparency, such as, are data collection and integration processes well documented? Questions around rigor. Is there a strong methodological justification for using mixed methods? In other words, is this something that you're using just because it seems like fun, or does this seem like it's appropriate given the research question that you're asking? And last but certainly not least are those ethical considerations. Are ethical guidelines for both qualitative and quantitative data followed? In mixed methods research, several common challenges can undermine the rigor and credibility of a study. One key issue is the weak integration of qualitative and quantitative findings, where researchers might fail to connect those insights from both methods by treating them as separate rather than complementary. Another concern is a lack of transparency in research design, which can make it difficult for others to evaluate or replicate the study. Additionally, poor justification for using mixed methods often results in research where the combination of qualitative and quantitative approaches just seems arbitrary rather than necessary. And finally, ethical concerns, such as inadequate consent procedures, can jeopardize the integrity of the study and the protection of participants. To address these challenges, researchers should follow the JARS Mixed Methods Guidelines, which provides clear reporting standards for mixed methods research. Ensuring a clear articulation of methods and results is so crucial for transparency and rigor. This helps our readers understand how data were collected, analyzed, and integrated. Additionally, using tables and figures to visually demonstrate how qualitative and quantitative findings can connect really might strengthen that integration and make complex data more accessible. By implementing these solutions, researchers can enhance the quality and impact of their studies. Using JARS Mixed isn't just for authors. It helps researchers, reviewers, and readers ensure that the structured reporting of mixed method studies are present, and for reviewers to evaluate the credibility and rigor of published research. These standards improve the overall quality of counseling-related mixed methods literature. If you are considering a proposal using mixed methods research, JARS provides a structure for your proposal. Step 1 is you will clearly justify why mixed methods are needed. Step 2, you'll explain how data will be collected and integrated. Step 3, you'll describe how the findings will be synthesized. And step 4, you'll address the ethical considerations. Using JARS Mix as a framework can really strengthen your proposal's clarity and credibility, and hopefully your acceptance rates. Scanning this QR code will take you to the APA's website, where they have the JARS Mixed Methods article reporting standards and table form for researchers, reviewers, students, etc. to use. And it includes the information recommended for inclusion in manuscripts and proposals that report the collection of the qualitative and quantitative data. So feel free to scan that and save it to your phones or your computers for later use. Ethical integrity is crucial in research. Some key concerns that could come up when mixing survey data with personal interviews could be something around informed consent. We want to make sure that participants understand both the qualitative and quantitative components. We need to ensure confidentiality by protecting sensitive interview data and perhaps de-identifying data. We need to avoid bias. We want to make sure that we are ensuring fair representation in both methods. And we know that a well-reported mixed methods study prioritizes both transparency and participant safety. So before submitting a study, in addition to clearly justifying why mixed methods were needed and fully describing data collection integration, we're also outlining ethical safeguards. We want to make sure that our findings are accurately synthesized, and by following the different checklists in JARS Mixed, your research will align with best practice. Let's put JARS Mixed into practice, ensuring clear, transparent, and rigorous reporting. So with the rise of online counseling service, it's essential to evaluate how telemental health impacts anxiety levels. So in this example study, we're using a mixed methods approach to assess the effectiveness of telemental health by analyzing both numerical data, aka changes in anxiety scores, and qualitative feedback, which are the client's personal experiences. So the design type that we're using is a convergent parallel design, where we're collecting both quantitative and qualitative data simultaneously, and then we're integrating that data to compare results. So with my methods, I'm going to use quantitative data. I'm surveying 200 adults diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder. I am measuring their anxiety using the GAD-7 scale before and after 8 weeks of telemental health counseling. And what I'm going to do is a paired t-test to measure changes in the anxiety scores. Qualitatively, I will select a subset of 30 clients randomly selected from the original sample of 200. And I'll use semi-structured interviews that explores the experiences with telehealth, perceived benefits, and any challenges. And then I'll use thematic analysis by identifying key themes such as accessibility, therapeutic connection, and perceived effectiveness. This example study integrates both quantitative and qualitative findings to provide a comprehensive understanding of the impact of telemental health on anxiety reduction. The data show that 80% of participants experience a significant reduction in anxiety levels, demonstrating the effectiveness of telehealth in alleviating anxiety symptoms. Beyond the numbers, participants shared valuable perspectives, reporting feeling less alone due to the accessibility of telemental health, and they emphasized that convenience played a crucial role in their progress. This suggests that the flexibility and ease of access offered by telehealth contributed to its success. However, there are some contradictions between the quantitative and qualitative findings. While some participants exhibited lower anxiety scores, they still expressed concerns about lacking a face-to-face connection with their counselor. This highlights the complexity of mental health support. Improvements in measurable symptoms do not always align with the subjective experiences of participants. To ensure the integrity of this research, strict ethical guidelines were followed, with informed consent being obtained from all participants prior to data collection. Confidentiality was safeguarded through anonymous survey and interview responses, ensuring participant privacy. To mitigate bias, interviewers were intentionally not the same individuals as the participants' actual counselors, which reduced the risk of response bias and social desirability effects. This mixed methods approach allows us to see both the broad trends in anxiety reduction and the nuanced experiences of individuals, which can help us better understand both the benefits and limitations of telemental health. Our example study's findings highlight both the statistical effectiveness and the lived experiences of clients engaging in telemental health counseling. From a quantitative perspective, the data strongly indicate that telemental health counseling significantly reduces anxiety symptoms. The statistical evidence supports its efficacy, suggesting that it can be a reliable intervention for those struggling with anxiety. However, those qualitative insights do add depth to the understanding that we have quantitatively. Clients overwhelmingly appreciate the accessibility and flexibility that telemental health provides, particularly in terms of convenience and reduced barriers to care. At the same time, some participants expressed concerns about a diminished sense of human connection, a feeling that those virtual sessions lack the warmth and immediacy of in-person interactions. When integrating these findings, it becomes clear that while telemental health counseling is an effective tool for reducing anxiety, its success is not just about the symptom reduction. It also depends on the quality of the therapeutic relationship. These mixed methods results suggest that while telemental health is beneficial, it may require enhanced interpersonal strategies, such as improved counselor-client rapport building techniques to optimize engagement and satisfaction. JAR's mixed methods provides a structured framework for ensuring rigor, transparency, and coherence in mixed methods research. By requiring clear justifications for integrating qualitative and quantitative approaches, while detailing design choices and emphasizing transparency in collection and analysis, these guidelines can help researchers produce more credible and replicable studies. When properly applied, using JAR's mixed methods not only strengthens the validity of the findings, but also enhances their practical relevance by capturing the complexity of the human experience. Ultimately, following these standards supports a more holistic and ethical approach to research, ensuring that mixed method studies contribute meaningfully to both academic knowledge and real-world practice. This is the reference for the initial article on the APA Publications and Communications Task Force report led by Levitt et al. In 2018, where they began to lay out those reporting standards for qualitative, quantitative, and mixed method studies. Thank you for being here today. I hope that this was very helpful to you, and I wish you all the best as you embark on your own mixed methods research designs.